Hey Criers, I'm Haley.
And I'm Rachael, and we're here breaking the age-old myth and proving to you that there is crying in baseball. Welcome back to another episode of There Is Crying in Baseball. Haley, hello. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I've missed you.
I've missed you. It's been a couple of weeks.
I know, it has.
Yeah,
what have you
how's
not...
your time? Have you been doing anything fun?
Honestly, not really. The Sounds have not been in town the last 2 weeks, so not many games to go to. I did go to Memphis for a game.
Okay,
and
fun.
Yes, it was fun. Cesar Prieto is one of the guys who plays on the team, and I was sitting like behind the dugout, and I could not see him because he was sitting on a ledge and there was like a wall in between us. But then all of a sudden, a ball comes flying at me and hits me, and I'm like,
oh my God.
What was that? And it was him throwing me a ball, and it was really funny.
That's so funny.
But that was fun, going to that game. And then, I've just been at home hanging out.
Yeah.
That's
nice sometimes, though. I feel like you're traveling so much. It's honestly nice sometimes to just stay at home.
I need to save a little bit of money.
Yeah,
I'm spending a lot of money on games. So
sis.
If the Sounds aren't in town, then we're going to sit at home because we do not need to be out doing too much. Other than that, too, I spent all day this past Friday on Twitter looking at all of the Scottie Scheffler memes because Scottie Scheffler got arrested.
God, yes. Let's talk about it. I'm dead. Oh. I cannot. Can you explain to everyone kind of what happened with the arrest? Do you know what happened?
Yes. Okay. So I want to start out by saying I opened my eyes and saw a photo of him like on the news in handcuffs, and it said Scottie Scheffler arrested. And I literally thought that this was like photoshopped.
Oh my God.
Someone like there was some weird joke that I was not in on that I could not figure out. And I was like, what is this? Go to Twitter, and it is just picture after picture of Scottie being arrested, videos of cops taking him away in handcuffs. So what happened, though, which I didn't even realize for a couple hours after all this came out.
I didn't know what happened at first. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And the way that they set it up and the way that they were arresting him, like they made it look so serious. And I was like, what did this man do?
And it makes sense in some ways because we did find out that somebody was hit by a car and died, which is what caused.
It was a bus. It was a bus. Yeah, they got hit by a bus right outside the golf course. So
it caused traffic backups. So players couldn't get into the golf course. They were directing players that were in marked cars that said that they were with PGA Tour, that they were directing them to go around whatever the flow of traffic was. So Scottie does what he was supposed to be doing, and the cop, for whatever reason, you can't really figure it out, attached himself to Scottie's car, pulled the man over. When Scottie rolled his window down, this officer opened his car door, pulled him out of his car, and then arrested him. No explanation, no nothing. And luckily, a lot of this was on video. They say that there's no body cam footage of this incident.
Oh, I'm shocked.
But the best...
Guess who's shocked?
The part of it, though, is the day before in the police report, it marked a box saying that there was video. So there's video, but then they're trying to backtrack.
Of course they are, because they know that it's just absurd and that it's silly. And the cop, didn't he like throw himself on Scottie's car to try to say that he hit him? Or it's just absolute insanity. It's 4 felony charges.
4.
And the only one that I don't, none of them are going to stick. I mean, this is just absolute insanity. And he's the #1 golfer in the world. Like,
I know.
This is so insane. I mean, he could sue them. And I don't know if he will, but like he could do.
Scottie is not going to sue them.
I know you love Scottie.
So he gets arrested, goes to jail. The other weird part of this is that they do all this, arrest him, put him in a jumpsuit, take a mugshot, and then don't even they just let him go. There's no bail, there's no nothing. They just let him go. So it's like.
So they did all of that, for like photos and
I mean,
kicks,
none of it makes sense.
It's funny. It's just goofy. It's just very weird.
So Scottie did like an interview after his round that day and said that he could literally see a TV in his jail cell, and he was seeing himself get arrested on TV.
Oh my God.
And that is also how he learned that there was a delay in when they were doing tea times for the day, so that he would actually be able to make it. So then he started doing his stretches in the jail cell.
And he did. And he made it. He got arrested at something like 8 in the morning, and he was out.
It was like 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning, and he was out by 8:30 and was there for his 10 o'clock tea time or something like that.
I mean, wild.
And then what did he shoot on the first day?
Like 66.
Yes! I know, that's what we were all talking about it. I was working that day, and it was all over the televisions, and we were all talking about it, and we're like, this man's going to win the whole tournament. Like,
oh, yesterday was a bad day for him, though. He shot a 73.
Oh, okay.
So he was on the leaderboard for quite a while, but yesterday he had a tough day.
Oh, that's too bad.
I really wanted him to win it.
Yes, that would have been like the perfect hero story.
I know.
It'll be very interesting, though, to see if anything happens beyond this.
Apparently Tuesday they're going to drop all the charges.
Oh, okay.
But
that's good, I guess.
But like, I was talking to my boss about this because he just had a baby a week ago. He has a week-old baby.
The Scottie did?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And so my boss is like, his wife is probably at home right now being like, what in the hell are you doing, Scottie?
Oh my God.
When he did nothing wrong. But like, could you imagine the stress?
So mad or so panicky. Yeah, I can't imagine what she's going through with a 1-week-old baby. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Scottie.
So Friday, I spent literally all day on Twitter looking at memes because there were just meme after meme that was so incredible.
You sent me a few of them, and they were so funny.
I know you loved the Fresh Out the Slammer one with
I did.
Changing the photo of the album cover, Taylor's new song, Fresh Out the Slammer, changing the photo in it to Scottie getting out of the car.
Yes, it's perfect.
Right after getting out of jail.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
incredible.
My favorite one. So good.
So that's, and then I've been watching golf all weekend now because I was really pulling for him. So
you're big into golf, aren't you?
I wouldn't say I'm like big into golf, but I do enjoy it.
So kind of big-ish.
I like watching when guys that I like are doing well.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing with golf is that you don't get to like really see everybody playing. They really only show like a lot of the guys on the leaderboard.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll throw some other ones in there that like are more high profile players, but I feel like you don't really get to watch everyone that's golfing.
Like if there's a specific player.
Yeah.
Have you ever played?
No.
I haven't either. I have never one single time played.
My stepdad plays every single day, and he tried to get my sister and I to be golfers when we were younger. And he took us to the driving range, and we lasted 5 minutes before my sister started throwing her golf club.
Oh, no.
And we never went back when I was a kid.
It's hard. And I don't think now that I have the patience to teach myself that. Because I'm an athletic person. So, like, the majority of sports, if I would try to play them, I can at least do a little bit, do something. But golf, I feel like, is a whole different ballgame. My dad used to play golf. I don't know if he still does really anymore, but he played all the time. So I would grow up like on the course until like driving.
Yeah.
If you ever need a golf cart driver, I'm in.
There we go.
But other than that, no, I've never played. It's expensive too. It's a very expensive hobby, very expensive sport.
It is, for sure. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. How are your Pacers doing?
Oh my God. Yeah. Pacers. Sorry. Once again, in this entire Pacers getup. And I'm wearing my husband's flat bill hat. I've never worn a flat bill in my entire life, but I'm pulling it off today.
Yeah, you are.
We got Game 7 tonight, baby. I can't believe it. What's crazy about this Pacer team, they are in year 2 of a rebuild. And they are one, I know. And they're 1 win away from making the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, this is... So the next is the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes, and then is it like the NBA Finals?
Okay.
So this is basically like we are in Game 7 of the NLDS about to go to the NLCS.
Okay. Wow.
And then if we win the NLCS, obviously going to the finals. If they do, I could see them winning Game 7. Realistically, do I see them beating Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals? I don't think so. Boston's just a whole different breed of a team, but just getting to see this team, they're performing so much. We didn't expect to make the playoffs necessarily. That was the one goal. They would have liked to make the playoffs, but like, even if they didn't, nobody would have been upset because this is such an entirely young team. Only 2 of them have ever been to the playoffs before ever.
Oh, wow.
And so, and so they've gotten so much. I'm just so proud of them. They've gotten 3 to 4 years of playoff experience in 2 weeks. So
that's crazy.
I think what they've gone through this year has been invaluable, but Game 7 at Madison Square Garden, it's a brutal environment. And so I believe it. They have to come ready, but neither team in this series has lost at home. So that's also something to factor in too. Like, they're both 3-0 at home and 0-3 on the road. So I really don't know what to expect, but I did this past week. I actually went to 2 more Pacers playoff games. So they are 6-0 at home, 6-0 with me in attendance. I've gone to
look at that.
It's amazing. So my husband wasn't able to go to this last one. So we were hoping that I was the good luck charm and not him. We were going to find out, but I went to the game alone and they still got that dub. So that was great. But you do stuff alone a lot. This was like my first real sporting experience going by myself.
Oh, I love it. Did you have fun?
I did. I liked it a lot. You go to a lot of baseball games by yourself. Have you gone to like basketball games or anything like that by yourself as well?
I went to one NBA game by myself because Michael couldn't go with me. I drove to Atlanta because they were playing the Bulls.
Oh, how fun.
My favorite player, Ayo Sumu, he used to play for Illinois in college. He was playing. And so I went by myself. I was one of maybe 3 Bulls fans in the whole place. So, but it was fun. I enjoy it.
That they noticed you too. If you're one of only a few fans,
oh heck yeah,
they saw you. But no, it was so fun. I was actually scheduled to work a double that day, and I work 2 blocks from Gamebridge where the Pacers play. And so I was like, okay, if we're slow enough and I get off work early, I'm just going to go buy myself a ticket and sprint over there. And it worked out. But you are not going to believe this. I go up to my seat and I'm sitting on the aisle, and the guy right next to me is in a freaking Mets jersey. I'm like,
can someone explain that? That is,
New York,
stupid.
I guess. Yeah,
no,
but like,
it's still
no, it's stupid. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This is going to be a terrible experience. He was like the nicest man ever.
Oh,
just like a
good
sweet, older man, and he was there with some of his family and blah blah blah. So we talked for a little while. He was actually from New York originally, but lives in Indy now. So he didn't really care about the NBA. But by the end of it, he was like, okay, maybe I'm going to start being a Pacers fan. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Wow.
But I was like, a Mets jersey? You've got to be kidding me. We didn't really talk about baseball at all, but I did tell him I was a Cardinals fan. He gave me a dirty look for it.
I mean, give him a dirty look for being a Mets fan.
I know, right? I know. Exactly.
Dish it back.
That's honestly, my whole life right now has been revolving around the Pacers, and I know you guys are probably getting sick of hearing about it, but like, I have never experienced anything like this before in my entire life. Like, going to 6 playoff games in 2 weeks is that's insanity for anybody.
Yeah.
But I've never had playoffs since I've been an adult. They haven't won a playoff series in 10 years. So since I've been an actual adult on my own, this is the first time.
And it's your home. Like,
yes.
It's representing like your city.
100%. And I'm so proud of my city and so proud of just seeing I've said this before, but like seeing just the renewed love for the city from people who live here. It's just so exciting and so refreshing, and I'm obsessed, and I'm really, really hoping that they win Game 7 tonight. So this is not the end, and then I'll get to go to games next week. But if it is, I'm so incredibly proud of them.
I love that so much.
Thank you. Oh my God. I do want to tell you about a super traumatic experience that happened to me yesterday.
Oh no, Rachel, you always have a traumatic experience.
It's always something.
Why?
Literally, I talked to my manager about this, and he said, it's always something with you. And I'm like, I know. And it's all real, and it's all out of my control. Like, how do you guys think that I feel? Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this. So I work in a restaurant downtown Indy. So there are different buildings like on the same street, of course. All of the buildings are connected by these service hallways in the back. And so in these service hallways, it's mostly concrete. It's very dim lighting, things like that. And so whenever we have to go into work before the actual restaurant is open, we walk in the back and go through these back hallways. So I go through it all of the time. So yesterday I go to work and it's, 10, we don't open till 11. So I get there at 10:30. And I'm in the parking garage, and instead of just walking up and going out and then around the building, like on street level, I decided to go through the service door that's in the garage, which also is connected. It's all connected. I've done it a million times. So I go in, and then the door locks behind me, and then every single door is locked.
Oh my gosh.
Every door. And so like you can go, there's doors on street level, and then the only other doors are underground because you go out like to different levels of the parking garage. So there's no cell phone signal in there, and I'm literally trapped in like this concrete room with
gosh,
nowhere to go. And you guys, like, I am so claustrophobic. That is my number one thing. And so I'm in there, and I don't have cell phone signal. There's no light. I can't see anything, and no one ever goes back there either. So I'm like, I'm screwed. Yeah. So I start bawling, and I'm having a panic attack. And finally, there are like these double doors that are up on the street that you typically can open, but they have chains around them now because they don't want anybody getting in there. There's a homeless issue sometimes, so they're trying to combat that by locking these doors. But so I was able to open the door like 4 inches and get a little bit of sunlight and a little bit of air, and I had to like stick my phone through it and call my husband, and I was like screaming on the phone. I didn't know what to do. So he ended up having to call my managers, and they called mall security, and somebody had to come rescue me.
Oh my gosh.
I was in there for 30 minutes, and it was...
How often do people go in there and use those doors?
I am shocked. So when I spoke with the mall security guy, he tried to say that the doors are locked from both sides. And I was like, sir, they're obviously not locked from both sides in here because I am in here. Like, how do you think I picked the lock to get in? So it's just on one side of the door where I came through, it's just like a thing that you push, like the big bar across that you push to go out. And so that part was unlocked. But then when you shut the door, then it's got like an actual handle button that you open, and that was locked.
Oh my gosh.
So I have no idea if this is like a common thing, or hopefully now that they know about this, they will actually lock the door. But literally, it was one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
Oh,
but like, I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with it's so stupid too. Like, it's just a goofy, silly little thing. But like, legitimately, I thought I was going to die. But I'm so claustrophobic. One time I was driving I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat. Tyler, my husband, was driving down the interstate, and I had this bracelet on my arm. And I started being like, okay, I don't really like this anymore. And I was getting like claustrophobic feelings from the bracelet. And I've never really experienced anything like that up until that time. And I was like, if I don't get this bracelet off of me, I'm going to have a literal panic attack. So we're driving down the interstate, and Tyler is driving, but he's like taking his hands off the wheel so he can take this bracelet off of me. I have so many mental issues.
This reminds me though, I get that feeling like when I'm wearing like leggings or things like that, where I start to feel claustrophobic in my own clothes, and I can't handle it.
So you do get it. I think I just take it to a little bit of an extreme, because the bracelet was literally not tight at all. It was so loose. But yes, I felt like that with leggings, and once I get that in my head, that's all that I can think about, and it's over. Like,
it's why I can't sleep in rings or anything. Like, I take my ring off every night because I can't sleep in them.
Okay, so you understand a little bit. So maybe I'm not a complete psychopath, but only a little
Not
bit.
For that. Maybe for other things. But
well, we all know that. That's fine. But so I went in, I finished with my panic attack, and I went into work, and everyone was so kind to me. And I know that my chef went in there and was like, she is not doing well. You guys better be nice to her. So like, everyone was so kind and so sweet. But then my coworker was telling me a story of how she got stuck in an elevator one time. And if I ever got stuck in it, it'd be over. Like, I don't think I would ever be able to survive that. Like, I freak out. I don't like going one floor in an elevator. And I'll keep it internal. Like, I don't panic, like, outwardly. But, like, internally, I'm like, I really hope, every time I'm in the elevator, I'm like, I really hope this does not break down and I don't get stuck.
I was actually about to get on the elevator at work, which our elevator is so old already. It shakes. It does some weird things. It'll, like, the door will close, it'll start to move, and the door will start to open a little bit while it's moving.
Oh, no, while it's moving? Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, no.
But there was one day I was literally, my finger was going to press the button, and the power went out. And so I was like, if I would have tried to get on this 10 seconds earlier, I would have been on the elevator.
You hadn't done it. So your door was still, like, open. You were there on the...
I was about to get on it.
Oh, about to get on it. I thought you were inside the elevator, like, pushing the floor. Oh, my God. Thank God. Oh, Haley.
I know.
Oh, no.
I would have freaked out.
That would be one of my absolute biggest fears. Absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm trying to think. What else did I do? Nothing. I don't think. I was sick for a while, so I kind of laid around for like a week and a half, but I'm feeling a lot better. We got some baseball games going up this Friday. I get to go see Shohei for the first time.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
So excited. I know I haven't gotten to see him yet, so he's playing in Cincinnati, so we're going to go do that.
He'll probably hit a home run for you, so.
He will. We know that he will.
Well, Rach, speaking of baseball, do you want to get into some of our crying moments from this week?
Oh my God, yes. Let's see. Do you want to do happy first?
Yeah. What's your happy crying?
Oh my God. My happy crying. This is so freaking sweet. So it's about Shohei Ohtani, of course, because you all know how much I love Shohei. So number one, this is kind of a few different happy things that have all happened. May 17th is now officially Shohei Ohtani bobblehead day. Or no, God. Shohei Ohtani Day. Lord have mercy. May 17th is now... I said Shohei Ohtani Bobble Day. May 17th is now officially Shohei Ohtani Day, which is cool. So, question, do you know about other teams doing that? The only team that I've paid attention to doing that, like naming a day after players, is the Cardinals with like Yachty and Albert and Waino.
I feel like I remember in the last year or two, Altuve has a day in Houston.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I just didn't know if that was like a thing that people regularly did, but I thought that was so awesome. They released his bobblehead on that day, and they had over 53,000 people in attendance at that game. 53,000. Did
you see? Okay, it's like known that nobody goes to games in LA on time.
Yes.
But did you see the line outside the stadium?
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, it's so funny because in LA, it's like by the fourth inning, finally the games are full or whatever. But no, the lines. Oh my God. The only time that I've ever seen lines like that before was on like Yachty and Waino's last day at Busch Stadium. Other than that, like I've never seen lines like that before, which is awesome, which is so cool too. Like I love that they are getting to the games early and going for Shohei. I love the hype. I would have died to get a Shohei bobble. I did look online. They are now on sale for like $300 and something.
Oh my gosh.
Of course. Yeah, people go and get it and put it on eBay. But anyway, so Shohei, so wonderful for the game, wonderful for him. My specific crying moment though. So on that day, the Dodgers asked if Shohei wanted his wife to throw out the first pitch because it's his bobblehead night, which would have been really, really cool. In itself if she would have done that. But Shohei said that he would actually love to give the opportunity to a kid who loves baseball or a child who can't watch the game who is always in the hospital. So I know. So he made the decision. He had this kid named Albert who went and threw out the first pitch, and he has a heart disease. And so it was so sweet, and just sharing the photos of just the pure joy on that kid's face. It just absolutely brought tears to my eyes. So
there's amazing. A video of him surprising Albert because they were like talking to Albert. He had a little microphone in front of him, and then Shohei walked in the room, and just his face whenever he saw him walk in was so cool. And then Shohei was like trying to speak English to him to be able to communicate with him like on his own rather than through a translator. And I just thought that was so sweet of him to make that effort and talk to him.
It's so heartwarming. I love Shohei. I know. He's so precious and so sweet. And that kid, he will never forget that moment. Like how incredible. No. And Shohei very well could have just said his wife was going to do it, and that would have been fine. That would have been a cool moment. But no, he decided to use that platform for something good, and I thought that was just wonderful.
I have something to say that may get me canceled by you.
Oh no.
I'm really scared to say it.
Okay, say it. Is this going to be the last episode of the podcast?
Maybe. I've kind of been watching Dodgers games.
Haley, God. I almost cursed. Son of a bitch, Haley.
Can I just say it's because, one, the Cardinals are not very fun to watch right now.
They're not. They're not fun.
And I want to appreciate a fun, good baseball game. And say what you want about the Dodgers, but this team is going to go down in history for being like one of the best
100%
teams ever.
You're right. I wish it wasn't specifically the Dodgers, but I have been watching so much less Cardinals baseball. I completely understand. And now I'm getting to the point, so I've been watching obviously the Pacers all of the time, and basketball is so different from baseball. It's so fast paced, bam, 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 bam. But the Pacers are so fun. They're so fun, and they're celebrating, and they're happy and exciting and energetic. And I wish the Cardinals had like a fraction of just a tiny, tiny little bit. And so I'm kind of.
That's the thing, though. Like, there's just no excitement or like anything from any of them. And then I would sit and watch Dodgers games, and Mookie's hitting like leadoff home runs at least once a week. He just hit 2 within a week.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all so hype and like excited, and it just looks so fun.
Yeah, that's what I love that. I love the energy. You know, the Cardinals have prided themselves on being such a storied franchise, and we all know that they're more straight-laced and things like that. But like, it's time. Times are changing. Like, you gotta just have some sort of fun, some sort of momentum. Like, especially since the Cardinals have not had a very good season this year. Like, the fans are so not into it, so they got to do something to try to turn it around.
It's so not exciting.
It's not. So I'm not going to cancel you right now. But if you become an actual Dodgers fan, then maybe I will have to reconsider. But
also, it's better than like watching the Cubs
Chicago.
or like, yeah.
Yes. 100%.
And maybe, I mean, is it better than me being a Brewers fan? I don't know.
I don't know. I very much dislike the Dodgers. Very, very much dislike the Dodgers. But with the Brewers being divisional rival, and now they're just annoying at this point, I wish they would just lose. And so maybe it might be a little bit better. But it wouldn't. See, now if you're going to be a Brewers, Padres, and Dodgers girly, all three.
I will say I don't really follow the Padres super closely. It was more because
I don't think they're doing too well either.
I don't think so. They're not as exciting as the Dodgers are right now.
No. And look who their manager is, Mike Schilt.
I know. Checks out.
Yeah, it checks out. Okay.
I'm sorry to drop that bomb on you.
You know what? It's okay. Thank you for warning me. It was a little bit better than I expected it to be. I had no idea what you were going to
What did you think it was going to say?
I don't even know. You said you were so afraid. I thought it was something like bad about Shohei, maybe. I don't know.
Oh. That for sure, we would not be friends. I know.
Yep, it'd be over right then. All right, Hayls, you got a crying moment for me? Happy moment.
Yes. So there have been a couple MLB debuts by pitchers that I really love in the past week and a half that have been so exciting to me that got me a little emotional.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so shocked. Haley getting emotional over baseball.
So first one was Chris Roycroft making his debut with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh my gosh, shout out to Chris.
Shout out to our first baseball player that followed us on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, he was the first, wasn't he? Oh, how fun.
So I've been watching him a lot at Memphis, and he has a really, really cool story. He actually played in indie ball with a friend of mine that I grew up with from Illinois, like our families. Basically, I went to daycare and went to school all the way from kindergarten to high school with his brother. So, like, our families knew each other really well. Uh-huh. But Chris played with this friend, Alec. And so I've known about his teams and stuff from indie ball. But when he was in college, he went to a D3 school and played both basketball and baseball. He also worked jobs at Jimmy John's and Dick's Sporting Goods to make ends meet while he was in school.
Oh, my God, he's just like us.
I know, he's just like us. And then eventually started playing indie ball. And then the Cardinals picked him up a couple years ago from indie ball. And he finally made his debut. And it was so cool. He struck out Lindor, first batter he faced.
He sure did.
And then immediately gave up a home run to
talk about what happened next.
Of all people, Pete Alonso.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that it was Pete. Oh, that's funny. I know that we were texting, we were watching in that moment, but I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that it was Pete.
Yes.
Oh no.
And then he had another strikeout after that. So he did a really great job other than the 1 home run, which, I mean,
oh my gosh. No, that's so fine. That's so fine. I mean, think about your I can't imagine what these guys are going through getting out there for the first time. No.
Also, it's Alonso. Like,
yeah,
it's not like it was some random person. Now he can forever say that his first home run he gave up was to Pete Alonso.
And his first strikeout was Lindor. Like, that's so awesome.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So I'm really proud of him. He's been doing a good job. Another debut that got me really excited was Robert Gasser for the Milwaukee Brewers, my second favorite team. He's another one I've been watching in Nashville a ton, and I guess it's been in the last week, it was his debut, but he, through 2 starts, he's pitched 11 innings, gave up 1 earned run. His ERA is .82, and awesome. He's had 6 strikeouts. So he's been doing really well, and so it's been really exciting to watch him too.
I love that. See, that's exciting. And we can focus more on these moments and root for these specific players because the Cardinals are so bad. So
see, it all works out.
It all works out. It's fine.
Do you have any other happy or funny moments from the past week?
Oh my gosh, yes. I have a couple of funny ones. So this first one was Adam Wainwright. I saw it on Twitter. He says that he was benched in an 8 and under coach pitch softball game. He said,
gosh.
I don't know what the head coach wanted, but I had a 2-hit shutout through 4 with 9 Ks. How freaking, like, I'm just trying to picture him out there throwing to all these little
honestly,
tiny kids.
It's easy to picture this.
I know. Oh, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. Just imagine him going up there and throwing a nice old curveball to these 8-year-olds.
100%. Like, how cool for these 8-year-olds to be like, Adam Wainwright just pitched to me.
I know. It's amazing.
I got a hit off of Adam Wainwright.
Adam Wainwright struck me out.
It's so crazy.
I wonder if they know who he is, really.
I'm sure they do.
Or at least their parents did, and their parents probably told him. Do you know, like, does he have ties to the team? Or is he just...
I guess his kids are older.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I originally just assumed it was his kids, but I don't think so.
I don't know.
But how cool even if he's just a regular coach, I think that's even cooler if he's not doing it because of his kid. But I died. I'm just picturing him, them saying like, okay, you're done, buddy.
He is such a dad. Such a just normal dad.
He is. I know, he is such a normal dad. I love him so much. Too funny. All right, what about you? Do you have a funny moment for me?
I have a couple as well.
Good.
First one that came up for me was Colton Cowser. He is playing with the Orioles now. And I saw him play in Nashville a bunch too, whenever he's playing with the Norfolk Tides, which is their AAA.
Oh, fun. I didn't know that. I love that.
Yeah. But he was recently on an MLB, like, I forget what it's called. It's the same little, like, live stream show where I got to ask Richie a question.
Oh my gosh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called.
Siera Santos is the host of it. Anyway, he goes on there. She's interviewing him. And she's like, there's a surprise for you. And his dad pops on the screen. And he's like, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. And his dad made a comment about how he missed him and hasn't talked to him in a few days. And Colton's like, I called you yesterday. And so then they get in this little, like, banter of, like, trying to see when the last time was that they called each other and talked on the phone. And his dad was like, yeah, you called me for the Netflix password. So Colton is still using his dad's Netflix password, using the family Netflix.
That's
so funny.
That's so funny. I heard them ask him. They said, oh, you still use that Netflix? He said, yeah, I'm not paying for it.
Yeah.
He's also just like us. Too funny.
Just like us.
That's so funny. I thought it was so funny, too. I was watching that clip, and at first they didn't have the dad on the video screen yet. They just had him talking. And then they said, okay, hi, who is this? And then he said, this is, so I don't remember his name. They said, this is so-and-so, his name. And then Colton said, oh, here we go. He knew it before he even saw it on the screen. He just heard the voice. He's like,
get a fan on here. Get a real fan on here.
That was so good. I like Colton a lot. I've been playing MLB The Show for years. I've never really talked about that on here. But his card in the game has been one of my favorites this year.
Oh, so, I love that.
So it's been fun. I love that too, because you just, like, play with different guys, so it's been super fun for me to, like, root for those guys in actual real baseball. I do that pretty much every year, so it's been fun.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I like Colton. That was a really funny moment.
Do you have another funny moment?
Oh my god, funny-ish. Yes. So we can talk about this. The St. Louis Cardinals City Connect jerseys got leaked. Oh my! I mean, first of all, of course they did.
They all are getting leaked.
Like, of course,
leaked.
Well, yeah. So I don't know specifically what happened with this one. It was supposed to be an email with the Cleveland Guardians City Connect or something like that. Is that what it was?
I saw it was a Cleveland Guardians email, but I didn't totally understand what the point was.
I think it was a mistake in that. But how can you make that big a mistake?
I was gonna say that's a large mistake.
I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny to me that they got leaked. I'm honestly happy that they did because I was really excited about this. And okay, I'm gonna talk about these jerseys. They're fine. The jerseys themselves are fine. I'm not saying that they're ugly. I'm not. They're just so boring to me. It's so much like their normal uniforms. I literally, my husband and I were talking about this, and I said it word for word what I thought they were going to be, like legitimately word for word. And so it was really freaky when they came out. I was like, this has to be a joke. I said, they're going to be all red. They are going to still have the same birds on the bat, and it's going to say the Lou. And that's what I said, because I just know the Cardinals, and I know that they're not going to stray far away from that. And his response to me was, they probably won't have the birds on the bat, but it'll probably have the arch. I was like, okay, maybe. But no, I mean, it's like, so they're cool. They would be cool as like just a regular alternate that they wore sometimes.
Agreed.
I think it's a super cool jersey, but it's, in my eyes, it's not different. The City Connects are supposed to be like new and fun and fresh and like getting you invested in the city and the team. And it's just, they did what they've always done.
It seems like they're like, well, the Cardinals are like the biggest part of the city, like the most popular thing about St. Louis. So let's just let's just keep it looking the same.
And it's so boring to me. And that's kind of going back to what we were talking about before. Like, I just wish the Cardinals had a little bit of fun and they were able to kind of like stray away, because, when they were winning constantly, and then you can talk about having a historic franchise and doing all of that and doing that the same, like back 10 years ago or 8 years ago, however, Right. That was okay. I can understand that. But like, things are so different now. That winning culture is not here anymore. So like, you got to switch something up.
I also just want to say, I don't like the hats with the jersey. I do not think they go together.
I don't at all. I don't either. And I shout out to Augie Nash on Twitter. Wonderful. He always brings a lot of historical moments, like day-to-day moments from the game from past years. He did a side-by-side reference. So of the hats from the old school hats. So I understand like what they were trying to do, but I don't think that it fits with the jersey either at all.
Yeah.
At all. So in the leak, there was not actual like links or anything like that. So there were also like tiny little photos of what the City Connect collection is going to be like. So we'll see if, like with regular t-shirts and hats and things like that, maybe it'll be cool, but
hopefully there's something fun.
Yeah, I hope so. It's just boring to me, but I would wear that jersey, but
I'd wear it
just
too.
Wanted something cooler,
for sure.
City Connect. But I want to say one other thing. Did you see that Emo's Pizza tweeted?
Yeah.
So Emo's Pizza was like trying to fool all of these Cardinals fans, I guess. They were using the actual date. They said that there was a big surprise coming on May 20th, which was the day that the City Connect jerseys were supposed to come out. So Cardinals fans went absolutely wild with that and were trying to determine if Emo's was going to sponsor the jerseys or if there was going to be pizza on it. So funny. Obviously, Emo's just used that for engagement purposes, but it worked.
Yeah.
Like, their Twitter got more traction than it probably ever would have. But I saw somebody responded to that Emo's tweet on Twitter with something like, if I have to watch Paul Goldschmidt strike out 5 times in a jersey with a piece of pizza on it, I'm going to kill myself.
Oh my gosh.
I was
so good.
But honestly, I would prefer that if they just had like big slices of pizza. That would just been funny. It would just been funny. That
would have been too funny. I would not be able to take them seriously.
I know. I don't think I would have either, but like
every now and then.
But something like that is what they need. Like, they need some kind of little shakeup.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I think. But it's also funny. I know this isn't really a moment, but Mo is kind of starting to, in his interviews, he's kind of pointing to the fact that he's not going to be around very much longer. He has talked about how he doesn't feel like the vocal minority is really in the minority anymore, like talking about people that are speaking out against him. He said that he feels like people don't really like him very much anymore and that they're becoming the majority. So it's very interesting. They're kind of becoming a little bit self-aware, but I don't think anything changes until the DeWitt sell the team. I think they are the problem. But anyway, we can talk about that another time. Here we go, another rant. You said you have another funny moment.
I do. Also, speaking of the Cardinals, this happened last weekend while I was at the Memphis game, so I did not get to have audio on my phone when this all went down. But basically, the Cardinals had 2 calls that they challenged that got overturned because they were wrong. Or was it more? There were like 2 within an inning or something.
Yeah, there was a lot. It might have been
was it
3.
4?
There might have been 3 or 4. Yes, okay. I think it was more than 2.
And so
they were blatantly obvious. I mean, they were blatantly obvious. They were not bang plays. They were plays that every umpire, especially at the MLB level, should get right every single time. That's your job. Yes.
So there were multiple. So challenged this third, fourth one at this point. And they were right. And Ollie and Descalso got a little fired up because they're just like, this is ridiculous. Why do we keep doing this? Just do your job right the first time, and we don't have to keep getting back to this. So then they start chirping a little bit. And then Ollie just flies off his rocker, loses his mind, starts screaming at the ump's yelling back at him. He just got so into it. And we haven't seen him like that in a minute. But I think it's what they needed. I think they needed some fire, some intensity of any emotion. Like, they needed something.
He lost his mind.
Lost it.
It was so funny too. And I mean, he was right. Everything that he was saying was right. But then they interviewed him after the game, and he said, he was trying to fire up his team.
I mean, that's our best friend Oliver Marmol, and it worked. 5-1 since that.
Yeah, shout out to Ollie. They've had like an offensive surge.
We've scored like 40 runs since that.
Which is insane because they're averaging like 1 run a game.
If that.
That's a fake stat. I made that up, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just so funny. And like I said, I was watching the video without audio the first time, and it looked like what you'd imagine, like some like play or musical, just like this very dramatic like argument. And it was so funny.
So incredible.
Highly recommend going back and watching without sound.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Also, John Boy Media has a very, very good breakdown of the entire thing. It's so funny. I like their breakdowns a lot, but that one was super top tier. And it's a lot of lip reading. There's a lot of F-bombs that Ollie says.
So no children.
Insults. Yeah, no children. But oh my God, so funny. I love that though. I love the fire. That's the kind of thing that they need. They need that kind of spark. You're right, to bring some intensity, to break up the monotony a little bit, shake things up. So it's interesting though too. There now, MLB Network and everyone else is just speculating how Ollie's going to get fired too, and they, so I feel bad for him, honestly. Like, I don't think that Ollie is the answer. I don't think that he is necessarily their winning manager going forward, but I think he is going to be let go as a scapegoat, and I don't think that's fair to him.
That's how we let go of everybody. That's what happens every single time.
Yeah, I think about Shell for sure. 100%.
Yeah. So
really a bummer.
I guess we'll find out. We'll see if anything really does happen, but
well, who knows? The comeback starts now, baby. They've been rocking the last few days. So now we just need the Cubs and the Brewers to lose, and we might be in some business. The St. Louis Cardinals are not in last place anymore.
Wow.
Yes.
What a feeling.
I know. My dad texted it to me, and he said, frame it. That might not last long.
He's not wrong.
It will. Maybe it will.
Maybe this is our moment.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to get back to more baseball once this Pacer season has ended. I've still been watching some baseball, but like that, I haven't gotten angry with all of these losses because that's not my main focus.
I mean, but you haven't had the emotional investment, which maybe is okay.
I think it is okay. I am going to some Cardinal games next week, though, or it'll be like a week and a half. So I think that'll renew some of my interest too.
And then we get to go to one together in a few weeks.
Oh my gosh, that is like 3 weeks from now. Oh, how fun. And sit in a suite.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited now. I forgot that was so soon.
Me too.
Hey.
All right. I think that's all we have for this week. Rachel, do you want to take us out?
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of There Is Crying in Baseball. Give us a follow on all socials at Crying Baseball. Check out our YouTube. Check out our merch. We got some really, really good stuff. We got new episodes out on Wednesdays because on Wednesdays we cry.